Also, during that Flint, Michigan rally, Donald Trump went on a rant about how he doesn't go on rants. This man is now at the point of having to incoherently ramble about how he doesn't incoherently ramble. Here is how Donald Trump described it to that crowd in Flint, Michigan this week, and I'm sure it left each and every one of them even more confused than his grocery bill answer. Here's what he said, and bear with me because I'm going to read the whole thing. So I give these long, sometimes very complex sentences and paragraphs, but they all come together. I do it a lot. I do it with Raising Cain, that story. I do it with the story on the catapults on the aircraft carriers. I do it with a lot of different stories. When I mention Dr. Hannibal Lecter, I'm using that as an example of people that are coming in from Silence of the Lambs. I use it. They say, it's terrible. So they say, so I'll give this long, complex area, for instance, that I talked about a lot of different territory. The bottom line is I said the most important thing. We're going to bring more plants into your state and this country to make automobiles. We're going to be bigger than before, but the fake news, and there's a lot of them back there, for a town hall. There's a lot of people, but the fake news likes to say, oh, he was rambling. No, that's not rambling. That's genius when you can connect the dots. I like how he puts that caveat in there. Like, it's totally genius if you can connect the dots. Well, you haven't. But he's not done. Now, Sarah, referring to Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was on stage with him for some reason. Now, Sarah, if you couldn't connect the dots, you got a problem. But every dot was connected and many stories were told in that little paragraph. But there is something. But they say that the other thing I say is this. We had 107,000 people show up in New Jersey. We had 68,000 people show up in Alabama. We had 79 or 81,000 in South Carolina. And they've never said I'm a great speaker. And I said, am I a great speaker? They say, oh no, he rambles. What the hell are all you people showing up for if I ramble? You don't want to show up for a rambler. We're at the point where he is rambling incoherently about how he totally doesn't ramble incoherently. And the reason I wanted to read those words to you instead of show you the clip was so that you could really get a sense of it, right? It's one thing to see it in a clip, but when you have somebody else have to read these words to you in a normal voice, it makes even less sense than when he does it. Like, he's going through all these different areas in this rant about how he totally doesn't rant, claiming he connects the dots. There's dots that weren't connected in here. And then he blames the people. He's like, if you can't connect the dots, then you've got a problem. No, it's not our job to connect your thought dots. That's on you. If you leave people feeling confused, if you're leaving people thinking, holy crap, that was bad, that's not because they didn't connect the dots. It's because everything you say and do is very confusing because none of it makes any sense. I have repeatedly said on my shows that we shouldn't look at these as ramblings. We shouldn't look at them as rants. We shouldn't look at his posts on Truth Social as, unhinged tirades even. We should look at these as symptoms. Symptoms of mental problems. Because that is what I firmly believe that these are. So he can ramble about how he doesn't ramble, but in my eyes, these look like symptoms that probably need to be checked out by a medical professional. We're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back with more of the David Pakman Show.
In today's insane media landscape, to stay informed and prepare for the show, I turn to trustworthy publications of record like the Washington Post. No one can beat the Washington Post's track record of investigative journalism and speaking truth to power. And now the Washington Post is a sponsor of the David Pakman Show. Did you know the Post offers a cool feature for audio lovers like you? You can actually listen to articles in addition to reading them, so you can tackle your to-do list and catch up on the news at the same time. And if you thought the Washington Post only covered politics, think again. You name it, they cover it. Climate and culture, crosswords and cooking. The Washington Post helps you discover a world of surprising stories, important insights, and actionable advice. It's important to me that this show only be sponsored by a reputable news organization like the Washington Post. and my audience needs to stay informed. You really need a daily newspaper to read online to do that. From May 21st to June 3rd, my audience can subscribe for just 25 cents per week for their first year. That's 90% off their typical offer. Go to washingtonpost.com/Pacman. And after June 3, they still have a great deal for you at 50 cents a week. The link is in the description.